We had never had a medical device like that. 3 children, this is our first major medical issue happening. We sanitized everything. That was our biggest concern. I alcoholed everything in my house. We wore gloves. Everything was cleaned nonstop.
My biggest concern when we started tube feeding was that we were going to feed the bed every night, and I was going to end up with stinky sheets and stinky carpet, or he wasn't going to get his nutrition. Maybe his body wasn't going to accept the formula. And those were really my biggest concerns.
Well, I was concerned that I was not going to be able to care for Julia properly, that I wasn't going to be able to do the feedings properly. I wouldn't know when to feed her, how much to feed her, what formula to use, if I needed to change formulas.
His other concerns were basically, would he be able to play sports? Would he be able to go swimming? Would he be able to play soccer? Would he be able to play outside with his friends? And all of those were kind of put at ease when he realized afterwards that he could do all of those things.
Thousands of parents are successfully caring for their tube-fed children using enteral nutrition formulas that provide complete and balanced nutrition for a growing child. Some children may always be tube-fed. Others transition from total to partial tube feeding. Some may eventually be able to return to eating, getting all of the nutrition they need by mouth. During eating, food goes into the mouth, down the esophagus, and into the stomach. With tube feeding, formula is delivered directly into the stomach or the small intestine through a feeding tube. The type of feeding tube you received in the hospital was determined by your doctor. The decision was made based upon the function of your GI tract and the length of time tube feeding was likely to be needed. Some feeding tubes are appropriate for a short period of time, typically less than 30 days. Others for longer-term tube feeding. A nasogastric or NG tube is inserted through the nose and down into the stomach. This type of tube feeding is typically for short-term use and will not be covered in this program. Please contact your healthcare provider for more information. A nasojejunal or NJ tube is inserted through the nose and down into the jejunum, the second part of the small intestine. A gastrostomy, or G-tube, is placed directly into the stomach through a hole made through the abdominal wall and into the stomach. This hole is called a stoma. G-tubes can be placed surgically or non-surgically. A type of G-tube placed with an endoscope is known as a PEG. A jejunostomy, or J-tube, is placed directly into the jejunum through a hole made through the abdominal wall or through an existing G-tube. A J-tube placed through a G-tube is called a G-J-tube. We mentioned stoma for tubes that are inserted through the abdominal wall and directly into the stomach or small intestine. The stoma is actually a tunnel which extends from the abdominal wall into the stomach, G-tube, or intestine, J-tube. The stoma can be created surgically or non-surgically. Many younger children use low-profile tubes that lay close to the skin. They're less noticeable and easily hidden under clothes. Low-profile tubes are also more difficult for the child to grab onto. Some low-profile tubes, as well as some standard-length G-tubes, have a balloon on the end. Inflating the balloon prevents the tube from falling out of the stoma. The balloon is filled with water following manufacturer's recommendations. This inflated balloon, along with the skin disc, helps hold the tube in place. Over time, the balloon can begin to lose small amounts of water through evaporation. When that happens, there could be leakage from the stoma site, or the tube could even fall out. You should follow instructions for checking balloon volume provided by the manufacturer of your tube or your child's healthcare professional. Tube site stoma care should become an important part of your routine. To clean the tube insertion site for G and J tubes, follow these steps or the instructions from your child's healthcare provider at least once each day. Wash your hands. Gather the materials you need to clean the tube site: soap, clean cloth, cotton-tipped swabs, and warm water. Clean skin with a clean cloth and soap and water. Start at the tube and work outward in circles. Clean under the skin disc or external hub with a cotton swab, soap, and water. Rinse the site with warm water and dry completely. If your healthcare professional has told you to use a dressing, change it every day or right away if it becomes wet or soiled. The external hub or skin disc should not be tight against your child's skin. For G-tube only, make sure the tube turns all the way around freely and moves up and down slightly, about 1/4 inch. Call your child's healthcare professional if there are signs of infection or skin problems at the tube insertion site, such as redness or rash, swelling, pain or soreness, unusual drainage. Your child might not be able to eat or drink, but good mouth care is still important. Your child's teeth, gums, and tongue should be brushed with a soft toothbrush and a small amount of toothpaste at least twice a day. Rinse with water is needed to freshen the mouth. If your child's mouth or lips are dry, ask your healthcare professional to recommend a lip balm or moistener. Call your child's healthcare professional if you notice bleeding or other mouth problems. Your child's healthcare professional has selected a tube and formula that will work best for your child. Each child needs certain nutrients, carbohydrates, fat, and protein, all in the right proportions. The formulas available on the market provide enough of these nutrients, as well as vitamins and minerals, to meet your child's needs. When recommending a formula, your healthcare professional will consider specific nutrient needs and your child's medical condition. Each formula is different. Some are designed for a specific age range or for delivering more calories in less volume. Some formulas may contain fiber to support your child's bowel function. Some formulas are designed to be easily digested, which may be helpful for children with conditions causing poor absorption or digestion. Some formulas are designed for specific medical conditions. There are many options to make sure your child gets the most appropriate feeding. If your child experiences any discomfort or is not tolerating the feedings, it's important to talk to your child's healthcare team. Formula comes in 3 types. Some are ready to use, while others need to be prepared before feeding. Ready-to-use formula does not have to be mixed with water before use. It comes ready to use, in cans, reclosable 8 fluid-ounce plastic bottles, and 1 liter ready-to-hang containers. Concentrated formula is a liquid that you mix with water before use to make it the right strength. Some formulas come in powder to be mixed with water to make a liquid feeding. When mixing water with powder or concentrate to make formula, follow the instruction on the label or those given to you by your child's healthcare professional.